Hi everyone, Aaron with Perfect Postures. So this week we're going to be talking about pelvic deviation. So what we've done so far pelvic rotation we've talked about. We've done pelvic elevation. And now today we're going to be talking about an asymmetrical tilt in the pelvis. Now the pelvis could tilt many ways. It could tilt this way where it's going anterior, or it could tilt where it's going this way where it's posterior. So basically from the side view, you'd be seeing these 2 points. You'd be tilting this way, that's an anterior tilt, and this way would be a posterior tilt. I'm not going to get so specific as far as one's more anterior. What we're going to talk about is that one side is different from the other side in regards to that actual tilt, okay? So you could have an anterior tilt on one side, but then the other side being anterior tilted, but just on a different plane of motion. So in other words, if we look at this side, maybe tilted this high, and all of a sudden we turn the person around on the other side, and it's tilted the same direction, but just not as far. So basically from a frontal view, you have your right side, you have your left side, and one side's just angled more than the other. It could be the opposite as well. You could actually have a posterior tilt, which is tilting under this way, so this point's lower than this point, but again, one side being on a different angle than the other side. So the importance of that is when you're looking at what happens to your sacrum or your SI joint here, if you have an asymmetrical tilt, well, you're going to get more of a torquing on one area when you compare to the other side. Not only that, but you're going to actually cause more compression on one side of the vertebrae when you compare it to the other side. So let's say that the right side's more anterior tilted, so it's more tilted up this way. There's going to be more compression here, but yet on the other side, there's going to be more almost opening on the other side. Obviously that's really important, especially if you have a pre-existing lumbar condition or you have some type of SI joint dysfunction. Lumbar could be, you could have a herniated disc, you have a bulging disc, you could have spondylolisthesis, there could be some stenosis in there. So if you've been diagnosed with those conditions, then this is one of the factors that could be the underlying cause for your condition. So what I'd like to do is just shoot a couple exercises for the corrective series that will address some of the asymmetries as regards to the tilt of the pelvis. And if you're just joining us, then you have the 2 prior weeks, which again was the pelvic elevation and pelvic rotation. You could definitely check out those exercises, and if you've been diagnosed with having those, do them, and then move forward. So the next 2 weeks we're going to be shooting the last 2 deviations that we typically see, and that's going to be bilateral, meaning both sides anterior tilt, or the following week it'll be a posterior tilt where both sides are tilting under. Okay? So stay tuned for that, and then we're going to shoot a couple of exercise videos right now, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email. Take care.